If you're 65 or older in Ocean County, here's the number you need. Stay in Jay's income cap just dropped from $500,000 to roughly $200,000, and it's tiered. Under $100,000, you still get the $6,500. Between $100,000 and $150,000, it drops to $5,000. $150,000 to $200,000, you're capped at $6,000. Over $200,000, you get zero. That change went into effect July 1st, 1 week ago. Here's what's coming right now. Exactly how Senior Freeze, Anchor, and Stay in Jay stack together. That's in the next 90 seconds, no matter how much of this you already know. Then we go deep on each program, and you'll get the 5 questions to answer before the November 2nd deadline. You're making a decision worth $10,000 to $50,000. A lot of agents won't go deep on this because it's complicated, but you've paid into the state for decades. Stick with me. Here's the question I get all the time. Can I get all 3? Senior Freeze, Anchor, and Stay in Jay? The answer is yes, absolutely. You can receive all 3 in 2026. You file one form, the PAS-1, and the state figures out what you qualify for in each program. Now, somebody watching this is thinking, that sounds complicated because it's 3 different programs. It isn't. Here's the one-sentence version. The state calculates Anchor first, then Senior Freeze, then Stay in Jay fills whatever gap is left, up to 50% of your property tax bill. Here's how the math works. Say Anchor pays you $1,500. Senior Freeze adds $800. That's $2,300 combined. If your property tax bill is $10,000, 50% of that is $5,000. You already got $2,300 from the other 2 programs. So Stay in Jay fills the rest, $2,700, to bring you to that 50% mark, up to the cap. That's the whole shape of it. They stack, they layer. 3 checks, 3 different months, 1 goal. Get you to half your tax bill. But here's where it gets tricky. And this is the part that just changed. If your income is $175,000, you qualify for Stay in Jay. If it's $205,000, you don't. You lose thousands. And that Stay in Jay layer disappears from the stack entirely. You can't control your income perfectly. A market correction in your brokerage account, the way your pension is distributed, the timing of an inheritance, these things matter now more than they used to. The state sent you a letter in the fall telling you exactly what you qualify for in each program. Don't ignore it. If there's an error, you've got the right to appeal. Most people don't know that. That's the full picture. If you've got a handle on the Senior Freeze and Anchor already, skip ahead to the Stay in Jay breakdown. That's where the real change is. If you want the full mechanics of each program first, keep going. That's next. Let's start with Senior Freeze. Your base year is established as the first tax year you qualify. That's when your taxes were at their lowest. From that point forward, the state reimburses you for any tax increases above that number. Who qualifies? You need to be 65 or older as of December 31st of the application year. Or you can be on Social Security disability or Railroad Retirement disability. Any age. You also have to have lived in your house for 3 years before you apply, and your income can't exceed $172,475 for 2025. That limit goes up each year. As of this year, you don't need to provide proof that you paid your property taxes anymore. The state just knows. The payments start July 15th, so you'll be seeing those checks very soon if you applied last year. That's the base. Senior Freeze covers tax increases from your locked-in base year forward. It's reliable, it's been around, and it applies to almost everyone over 65 in Ocean County. It's the first layer in the stack you just saw. Now Anchor, the second layer. It replaced the old homestead rebate back in 2022, and it works completely different from Senior Freeze. Anchor is available to anybody, homeowners or renters, any age. You don't have to be a senior, but the rules are different depending on who you are. If you're a homeowner, your income can't be more than $250,000. If you're a renter, it can't be more than $150,000. Anchor gives you a rebate check based on your income. The lower your income, the bigger the rebate. The minimum is $1,000 if you're a homeowner, $450 if you're a renter. But if you're a senior homeowner, you historically got an extra $250 bonus on top of that. That's changing after this year. More on that in a minute. Here's the key thing about Anchor. It's designed for middle-class households. It's broader than Senior Freeze. You should have zero income increases and still qualify. It doesn't care about your base year. It just cares about how much you make. Anchor payment starts September 15th. And remember, this is the one the state calculates first before senior freeze or Stay NJ ever get added in. Now, the layer that just changed, Stay NJ. It's the newest of the three programs. It was signed into law back in 2023, but it only started sending its first checks this past February. The idea was to cover half of your property tax bill if you're a senior homeowner, 50% up to a maximum of $6,500 a year. On a property with a $20,000 tax bill, you'd get $10,000 in Stay NJ benefit, but it capped at $6,500 maximum. The eligibility rules were you've got to be 65 or over, not disability. Age 65 is strict. You've got to have owned and lived in your home for the full year. Your income couldn't exceed $500,000, and you can't be a mobile homeowner. That $500,000 limit was huge. That meant a lot of people qualified. Teachers, retirees with pensions, people with investment income, they all fit. Here's what changed on July 1st. The income cap dropped, not to $250,000 as the governor originally proposed, but further to approximately $200,000. And now it's tiered. The way I opened with, full $6,500 under $100,000, up to $5,000 between $100,000 and $150,000, and up to $4,000 between $150,000 and $200,000, and zero above $200,000. That's a cliff you go over by $1 and you're out. Let me give you a real number. A brick homeowner making $180,000 in 2024 would have qualified for the full $6,500 under the old rules. Under the new rules, $3,250, half. Same house, same tax bill, same age. The only thing that changed is the calendar. Now, somebody watching this is doing the math on their own income right now. Good. That's exactly what I want you doing. Why the cut? The state needed to close a budget deficit. Stay NJ was going to cost $1.2 billion a year at a full rollout. The signed budget funds it at $756 million. One more thing that changed. Remember the $250 anchor bonus for senior homeowners I mentioned? That's gone after this year. Senior renters still get it. Senior homeowners don't. They're getting the additional benefit through the Stay NJ tiered structure instead. So if you were counting on a certain number and you haven't checked the rules in 6 months, your number just changed. And it might have changed a lot. Here's the one I see Ocean County seniors make every single year, and it costs more than any of the rule changes we just covered. I see 5 mistakes show up over and over. First, not filing at all because you think you won't qualify. You're making an assumption. File a form. Let the state tell you. I've seen people surprise themselves. Second, filing for senior freeze and not for the combined PAS-1. The PAS-1 captures all 3 programs at once. If you're only filing for freeze, you're leaving Anchor and Stay NJ on the table. Third, assuming your neighbor's benefit applies to you. Every property is taxed differently. A homeowner in brick might pay $12,000 and get $3,000 in total benefit. Another homeowner in brick might pay $8,000 and get $2,200. It depends on your assessment, your income, your age, when your base year was. Don't compare. Fourth, missing the deadline. November 2nd, 2026. That's it. Late applications don't get processed until next year, and you lose a whole year of benefit. Fifth, not understanding the income limit cliff. If you're near $200,000 and you're expecting inheritance or a distribution from a retirement account, you could cross the threshold. Plan ahead. Talk to your accountant. One more thing about county differences. Assessments vary wildly. Lakewood has some of the highest property tax bills in the state. Brick, Toms River, Barnegat, they're all over the place. Your tax bill determines your benefit, not your town. But the form is the same across all counties. PAS-1, one deadline, one income verification. The form is PAS-1. You can file online at propertytaxrelief.nj.gov or get a paper copy from your county assessor's office. The deadline is November 2nd, 2026. That's about 4 months away. You'll need your prior year tax returns and your property tax bill. You'll need your social security number. If you're over 65, you might get a postcard telling you when to apply. Follow that date on the postcard. If you don't get one, go online. Here are the 5 questions you need to answer before you sit down at that form. Number 1, what was my income in 2025 for application purposes? Remember, it's the prior year's income. That $200,000 cap for Stay NJ is based on 2025 income you're reporting on your 2026 application. Number 2, what was my property tax bill in 2024 and what will it be in 2025? You need this for the form. Number 3, what year was my base year for senior freeze? If you haven't been on senior freeze before, your base year is the year you first apply. That's important to lock down because it never changes unless you move or lose the senior freeze entirely. Number 4, do I live alone or are there joint owners? If there's a spouse or partner, you might need separate applications. Each person can file separately and claim their percentage of ownership. That matters for the income limits. Number 5, is there anything else I'm missing? Check with your county assessor before you file. There's an old $250 deduction for seniors that might still apply separately. It's different from Anchor. You want to make sure you're not leaving money on the table. The determination letters come in the fall, probably October or November. They'll tell you exactly what you're getting from each program. There'll be separate checks with separate payment schedules. Senior freeze in July, Anchor in September, Stay NJ quarterly starting next year. Write down all 3 dates, all 3 programs, all 3 numbers. Don't assume they'll all hit at once. Here's the thing. You're eligible for programs that are designed specifically for you. Not everybody qualifies. You do, and the state is putting over $4 billion into property tax relief this year across all 3 programs. That's your money. It's there. But New Jersey didn't create this for people to leave on the table. And I'm not a tax advisor, and this isn't tax or legal advice, but I am telling you this. Sit down with a cup of coffee. Go to propertytaxrelief.nj.gov. Read the rules one more time. Then file the PAS-1 before November 2nd. If you found this useful, hit subscribe and tap the bell. Ocean County specific, no fluff. And if you're thinking about selling or buying in this market, I do what's called a move confidence call. It's 20 minutes on the phone, no pressure, no pitch, just a real conversation about your numbers and your options. Call 732-244-1774 and ask for one. Confidence in your move, certainty in your retirement.